Hey, welcome back to the Finebaum Show, brought to you by Regions. We're kicking off the college football season here on this 18th day of July. The season not here yet, although there are a lot of people in this building today that wish it was. Joining us now, Michael Wayne Bratton, the host of the SEC podcast. We have talked to you many, many times. You always, it's good to get you out of your basement.
No doubt. And Paul, every time I come on with you, the goal is to not embarrass myself, yet I do it every time. So I'm looking forward to what you'll get out of me this time.
Well, that is certainly our goal, is to embarrass you again. So let's think of ways we can embarrass you. All kidding aside, I realize you're busy. People think that we're just all sitting here watching this, and people like me are. But guys like you have to do your job, and that's grab people for interviews, and that's what this is about, right?
Yeah, no doubt. But how about this? I bet I'm the only one here in this entire event that's got Kentucky going to finish 5th in the SEC East this fall, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that Will Levis gets all this hype. Yet I don't think just because one outlet has him as the first overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft, I don't think he's near that caliber. I wouldn't. If he was a first-round pick, Paul, he would have declared for the draft already.
That's a good point. I was with Greg McElroy earlier up here when we were about to kick the whole thing off, and they were talking about him in terms of the Heisman. And I said, to win the Heisman, you gotta have a big November. You have to be in position. So I agree with you. I don't see that happening.
And to get there, they're going to have to win at Florida, at Tennessee, of course, hosting Georgia. I think Kentucky's a big underdog in all those games, and we haven't even talked about South Carolina, which I know they've owned lately, but I think the improvements the Gamecocks have made make them a dangerous team in the East. And Mississippi State and Ole Miss, two teams that, if you were to tell me Kentucky's going to beat both those teams, I'd call you a liar.
Well, I've been called a liar. Rather not be called one today, but just for the sake of argument, let's go through the East a little bit and give us some thoughts on how to think it is going to go, since you've already alluded to who you have at 5th.
Well, anyone that doesn't have Georgia first in the East, they don't deserve at this event. So, of course, we got the Bulldogs number 1. But number 2, I'm going Florida Gators. 2 years removed from the SEC championship. Now, the Billy Napier era.
That's a legitimate hot take there.
Oh, no doubt. But I love Anthony Richardson. I think he's going to be the breakout star in the SEC, and it all starts with the quarterback position. And again, you host Kentucky. They beat Tennessee every time they play them. I'm not going to pick Tennessee over Florida. I don't care where that game's played.
Wow.
And I think they've got, if you were to line up Kentucky, Tennessee, and Florida's rosters, I think Florida's got as much talent as any of them.
Well, then why do you think the people in Knoxville are so enthusiastic about what they have? Or is that just a former superpower trying to get back?
No, because I do believe in what Josh Heupel's doing in his offense, and Hendon Hooker. I think, we're talking great pieces. But again, they have to play Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. I think they'll lose all 3 of those games. I don't think that's a stunning take. But the offense is legit in Tennessee, and I believe the progression of that program is going to be great with Josh Heupel leading that charge. But again, I don't think they're anywhere close to the overall roster of the Florida Gators. And if they drop that game in Neyland Stadium, there's no way Tennessee's going to finish second.
Let's look at the other side, Michael, since I like where you're going. And the one thing I admire about you give hot takes like a serial killer. Nobody sees them coming, and that's the problem with hot takes. Not to criticize anybody that I work with at ESPN, but it's the subtle dagger in the heart hot take that I'm a big fan of. Keep going.
All right, how about this one, Paul? Everybody's got A&M as 2 in the West, or even some people, maybe they're dumb enough to not pick Alabama. But of course, we got Alabama number 1. But I like Arkansas number 2 in the West.
Okay.
And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that better coaching staff, better quarterback, better offensive line. Jimbo Fisher gets touted as this quarterback guru. The last quarterback he had that he coached up was Jameis Winston. That was nearly a decade ago. And I loved what Kellen Mond did, but he had 3 years with him, and he never got any better. I thought he was better as a sophomore than he was as a senior. I don't care what the record was during the COVID year. We need to stop pointing to the COVID year, saying we went 9-1. It's every other year that seems to be the norm there in College Station, losing 4 games. I'm not saying A&M is going to lose 4 games again, but you stack them up against Arkansas. I like, again, Arkansas coordinators are better. The quarterback's better. The offensive line's better. I think Sam Pittman's a better coach than Jimbo Fisher.
Jamari Brams, let's book this guy again pretty quickly because I think some of what he said today is going to get lost in the translation. We got a lot to talk about. We got Coach Strink waiting, so we'll bring him on. But let's talk to you next week, and let's blow some of these. I mean, you've said more today than anybody I've talked to, so you're definitely. I want to hear more.
I'm here all 4 days, so.
Thank you, Mike. We may be back with you Thursday, then. We're coming right back with Elijah Strink with the University of Missouri.